This is Unit 1, Lesson 1. This is the continuation of the lesson. The problems that I'm going to go over here we did not cover in class. This also includes how to construct a congruent angle and copy a figure such as a triangle, as well as practice those skills. There are shorter videos down below in Schoology that show just copying a segment, just copying an angle, so that you do not have to watch this entire video to get those skills. So for number 3, using the lengths provided, construct a triangle ABC such that the sides of triangle ABC are congruent to the provided lengths. Again, please remember to leave your construction marks as they are your work. So this arc I just made here in red, that is my work, to show that I didn't just use the ruler, that I did actually do the construction. So your first step, anytime you have to copy something, whether it's an angle or a segment, you need to make a ray. So I've already done that down here. So I've copied the length of AC by copying a segment, which we already covered in the previous video. And so, keeping my compass opening the same amount, I'm going to copy that length. And it says construct a triangle ABC such that the sides are congruent, so I'll just call this A prime for now, and C prime. They're not asking us to copy a triangle exactly. They didn't give us any angle measures here, so it is up to us to figure out or determine how to construct the remaining lengths. So what we will need to do is we will need to copy BC. So basically, we're going to make a circle or an arc, depending on what you prefer, that has a radius of BC. So I'm going to put my endpoint on C prime, because that is the endpoint of the segment that I'm copying that I happen to have. And I'll make a nice arc. You can make the full circle if you really prefer. So anywhere along this circle or semicircle or arc, part of a circle arc that I've made, is the length of BC. So what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to measure AB. So I measured the length of the segment as best I can with this compass on the... So there's my arc to show that I've made that. Now the endpoint here is on A, so I'm going to take my compass and I'm going to put it on A prime. I don't know where B prime is or the new B point will be. I have to figure that out. So I go to A, and again I'm going to make an arc whose radius is AB. So now where these two arcs intersect, one of them, that is where B prime will go. Okay, where the one intersection. There would be another one, which we could use as well. But these are in my workspace. So this represents a length of AB, which we've copied. This segment here represents a length of BC. So I now have a triangle, A prime, B prime, C prime, that is congruent, that has sides that is congruent to the given lengths. So for our next example, or lesson rather, next part of the lesson, we want to copy this figure exactly, triangle DEF. We want to create a new one, D prime, E prime, F prime, that is congruent to, in all ways, to the given triangle. So to do that, we would not only have to copy the sides, we would need to copy the angles as well. And so the angle piece we have not done yet. So in the space below, we will construct a triangle DEF using the compass and straight edge, leaving all construction marks because that is our work that is congruent to this original triangle. So our first step is to draw a ray, and we like to make it nice and long. So I've made my ray, I put an endpoint at my ray. I'm going to start with segment DF. You could have started with any segment you like. However, DF I feel is an easy place to start. So we're going to do exactly what we did before in the previous example using a skill we've already learned, is we're going to copy the length of DF. So we put our compass on one endpoint of DF. We're going to open our compass so that it reaches the other endpoint of DF. We're going to make an arc to indicate that length. We're going to transfer our compass down to our new diagram, and we're going to make an arc. And where that arc intersects the line, will be where F prime goes. And for some reason my pen is, there we go, F prime. So now is where the new skill comes in. We need to copy an angle. You have a choice. You can either copy angle D or angle F. I'm going to copy angle D just because I already have a construction mark over by F. So to copy an angle, your first step is to open your compass and make an arc at the vertex. So you put your compass point at the vertex of D, open it. Doesn't matter how much you open it, the important part is that your compass is opened enough to intersect both sides of that angle. So I've intersected both rays of angle D. Here's one point of intersection. Here's 2 points of intersection. Okay, without changing anything about my compass, I'm going to move it down to D prime, and I'm going to make a nice big arc. Again, this arc has the same radius as the first one we did on the original angle D. So now that I have 2 points that are equidistant from the vertex D, I'm going to use my compass as a measuring tool. And I'm going to measure the opening of that angle. Right, so we know these 2 points are a certain distance. I'm measuring how far apart those distances are. We need the first arc because if I make 1 point over here and 1 point over here, those are going to have a different opening than if I put 2 points close together down here. So the reason we make the first arc is to give us 2 points that are the same distance away from the vertex. We now transfer our compass down to the intersection of our ray and our first arc, and without changing the width from the previous one, we make an arc. Where 2 arcs intersect, we can draw a point, and through any 2 points, we can make a ray or a line. And we want to make this nice and long because, again, we don't know how long the other segments are yet. We haven't measured them. So we've copied an angle, we've copied a side, we're going to go and copy another side. Since I copied angle D, I have to copy segment DE. I can't start over here now that I've already been working on this side. We'll learn in another lesson why that is. So again, I open my compass to the length, and I make an arc. Do the best you can. I'm going to transfer that down to D prime. No. There we go. Put it on the vertex of angle D, and make an arc of the same length. Maybe. There we go. And that is where E prime will go. Did we finish the question? Almost. We're almost there. We now need to connect F prime to E prime to finish the triangle. I will answer these questions and then we'll stop the video there, and I'll do the last page of the lesson in a separate video so that if you just want to watch the copying of the angle practice portion, you can. However, copying a triangle exactly is a skill that you need to be able to know for your unit test. It will not be on the Unit 1 quiz this year, 2017. So what do we know about the length of segment DE and segment D prime E prime? They are congruent or equal in length and size. What do we know about angle E and angle E prime? Those are also congruent. Name angle F in two other ways. So we have angle F over here. We want to label that in two other ways, EFD, angle EFD, and angle DFE. The most important thing here is that that vertex is the middle point in your naming of the angle.